Welcome back to my channel, sports fans. Okay, let's get into this one. LeBron won the game for the Lakers as he hit the game-winning three. If you want to call it that. They was already ahead by one. And LeBron, with the guy really not even contesting him, come get the ball. The guy has no dribbling skills. So come get the ball, make him pass it, or make him do something. But he did hit a contested three to put him ahead three. And so, before that, I think he was 1 for 6 from three. And let me see here. So if he would have missed the three, they still would have been up by one with like seconds to go. Basically seconds to go, because if I'm not mistaken, the play before these dummies turned the ball over, the Pelicans, when they had a chance to tie the game up. It's just, come on, man. The Pelicans without Zion, which it really don't even matter. It don't matter. Zion would have found some way to play down to the competition, and they would have lost anyways. That's just how it is. Zion's no leader. Zion wouldn't have really made a difference in the whole grand scheme of things. Yeah, so I think LeBron was like 1 for 6 from three. He just going to keep shooting. That's all this league is. You miss from three, keep shooting. And then you miss, you keep shooting. There's no discipline. There's no other way to do any other things, because there's no coaches. Do you get what I'm saying? There's no coaching. Right? The stars are the stars. Whoever's on the team is on the team. These aren't real coaches. They're not. JJ Redick is trying to act like he's a real coach, act like he's, you know, the old school coach, screaming at guys and stuff like that. It's a fraud. It's a fraud. It's what he's trying to do. He's trying to make it look like he deserved his job and he should be the coach. That's all it is. Which he does deserve the job. It's not a real head coaching job. We already know this, because this isn't a real sports league, and we can take that all the way back when LeBron James went to Miami and he taunted the whole league and played with 2 of the top 5 players in the East. And there was no pushback from NBA coaches, NBA owners, NBA players, and basically, for the most part, the NBA media. So that's when the league became a fake sports league. And then he showed us it was a fake sports league again when he did it again, building another super team, taking the power out of the East. Really, the East was already weak. East was already weak, but he needed to double down and make it even weaker, even weaker. In the 210s, the East was pretty much weak. By the time he got to Miami, those years in Miami, those Boston teams, they were crap. They weren't really good. Although they did take, I think it was in 2013, I think they did take Miami to a Game 7. And that's just, you know, Miami playing lackadaisical. That's it. Not wanting to practice. And we told you before, LeBron's teams, they play off of athleticism. There's no real X's and O's. It's beat you off of athleticism. When you stack super teams like that, you no longer have to play off of X's and O's and fundamentals. You can just play off of athleticism. Imagine that. Dwayne Wade and LeBron together and Chris Bosh, all that athleticism. You know, I mean, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? And then he does the same thing, Kyrie, with that athleticism, and LeBron. But that was just to play the East. But we all know what happens in the West. Those guys play off of fundamentals for the most part back then, and that's how they were able to beat a LeBron James teams. That's who beats LeBron James teams. And that's why when we talk about Michael Jordan's competition, there's no LeBron James team that would ever beat Michael Jordan's competition. It won't happen. In the finals, they wasn't going to beat Portland. They can't beat Seattle. They ain't going to beat the Suns. They're not going to beat Utah. None of LeBron James teams, I'm serious, none of LeBron James teams will beat Michael Jordan's competition. They wouldn't. And none of Michael Jordan's teams will get beat by LeBron's teams 4-1 in the finals or swept. That's a fact. So, of course, he played 37 minutes, 2 for 7 from the three. And like I said, luckily, he hit that game. I guess you can call it a game winner. They was already up. Let's see, game sealer. He sealed the game. Like I said, if he would have missed, okay, they're still up by one, and that's New Orleans. They're not going to hit it. They would have to come down and shoot a three. The Lakers are going to play tight defense. They're probably going to turn it over. With all that said, it took that for the Lakers to beat New Orleans without Zion Williams. Well, it was a 4-9 team coming into it, and they were playing nobody. I mean, really, the only good guy they had was Ingram. He gave you 32. Ingram is a funny guy, man, because he has his talent, but he's never going to be like a star. When you need Zion Williams to be the star of your team, a guy who can't even show up to work. Let me look at this. I want to look at Brandon Ingram. Oh, this is another guy. Brandon Ingram, 32 points, 4 rebounds. But let's look at, that was that game. This season, 23 points. What do you have? 0.9 steals, 0.6 blocks for the season. 5 assists, 6 rebounds, 87% from the free throw. 36 from the three, 47 from the field in 33 minutes. Now, for this guy's career, 19 points, 0.6 blocks, 0.7 steals, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 78% from the line, 36% from three. I don't know, man. This guy, he could have been like a Kevin Durant type of guy, but he wants all these big contracts and all this stuff. 19 points per game. I mean, he's just one of those guys that comes to play. He just wants to play basketball. He doesn't want to be anything big. He doesn't want to take over a game. He doesn't want to, And I know he's been over there in New Orleans where they can't get their ish together, but still, man, this guy isn't. I mean, you got Luka Doncic and Joker, 2 plumbers giving you work. And speaking of Luka, he's not doing too good this year. He's looking bad. We'll talk about that in a minute. Anthony Davis, 31 points, carries LeBron James. LeBron will get all the glory. 14 rebounds, 2 for 4 from three. And AD's starting to shoot a lot of threes too. If you notice, because I was telling you guys yesterday, they're starting the bigs either at the 3-point line or the key a lot of times when they come down on offense. Because I told you this is a fixed rigged game to where if you don't go along with this type of offense, you can't play in the NBA, right? You can't. There's no real coaches. You have to coach all the same style of NBA offense, which now the defense knows what you're going to do every play because you're doing the same play they're doing on offense. So it's a fixed rigged league, and I think it's to help the Lakers out, right? You can't have your own style of play. Let's not forget LeBron has 6 turnovers. I looked at his turnovers for the season, and it's like, what, 3.2 or something like that? I'm like, how? This guy has 7, 6, 5. Every game, this guy has a lot of turnovers. I don't know how his turnovers is at like 3.2. So the triple-double ended for LeBron. 5 assists, 7 rebounds, only 1 personal foul. Bronny is still on the bench. I don't know why he's still on the bench. Is his team still away? He's been sitting on that bench for like 6 days or something like that. I mean, they both teams shot like ish. And this is what I was talking about. I said one game, they're going to be playing the in-season tournament. The next game, they're not playing the tournament no more. And I think they don't play an in-season tournament game for like another 3-4 days. So this is really not a tournament. It's a I don't know what you want to call it. It's a fixed, rigged, whatever you want to call it. But this isn't how any tournament exists, has ever existed, ever, that you play a regular season game and then play a tournament game and then don't play a tournament game for another 4 or 5 days. What kind of sense does that make? If they say the tournament games count for your regular season wins, then why don't you just play a straight tournament for a week? I don't understand. This has to be the dumbest thing you ever seen. Oh, let me go back to that. Yeah, so you got this Connect guy, right? Playing for the Lakers, 27 points, 5 for 10 from three. And let me tell you guys, this guy playing 37 minutes. D'Angelo Russell, they really have no need for this guy. You know, I seen him out there the last few games before this game. He's pretty much a clown. I don't know what happened to this guy. He's pretty much a clown act now. He's got his money. I don't even think he cares, really. I don't think he really cares because he don't want the pressure on his shoulder for him to carry LeBron James. And when he can't, he's going to get the blame. So I don't think he really cares that if he keeps coming off the bench and Dalton Connect is going to be the new hero. He's going to be something that Reeves really wasn't. I mean, Dalton Connect, he can shoot the three better than Reeves. He really don't have to shoot too many mid ranges. We can see that he can drive to the basket too. There's nobody under the basket. Nobody's going to be able to stop him anyways when you drive. So yeah, these are the guys that's going to help LeBron. And I'll tell you what, the West is looking kind of shaky right now. The West is looking kind of shaky, and I don't doubt it if they can win this in-season tournament. Even if you think something, I just don't think that the Warriors, if it came down to it, I don't think they can beat the Lakers in this in-season tournament. If AD is there, who's going to stop AD? And LeBron barreling down barreling down the lane. And these NBA players, when they get barreled over, or they get a foul put on them by the Lakers, they really say nothing. They really don't say nothing. They just sit there on the floor after they get barreled over and don't say nothing. It's almost like, this is LeBron. You can't say nothing. If the officials say it's a foul, it's a foul. These aren't the same players from yesteryear that's going to stand up to LeBron James. Because they already know this league is going down the poop tank. So the only person that's keeping it interesting with lies and narratives is LeBron James. So they have to bow down to him because they got the call from the league. So if the officials, who aren't even real officials, I already told you guys before, travel, carry, travel, carry, carry, travel. So if the officials aren't willing to do their jobs that they get paid for, then it's not a real sports league, folks. If you, as a fan, can sit there and watch these guys travel and carry and travel all game, not just, oh man, they forgot, they didn't even see that. Nope, all game. And game in and game out. If you can see this, if the crowd is screaming this and they don't call it, let's understand why they don't call carry and travel and carry and all these things. Because if they had to uphold the standard of these things, it exposes these players as real great NBA players getting paid all this money. How can you justify these players getting paid 60, 50, 40, 30, and $20 million a year to be professional players at the highest level, and they can't even perform their jobs? They can't do it. So therefore, the rest will never call these things because it will expose these players as real NBA players. So what we got again is we got coaches who aren't real coaches because all the offense is the same, which means all the defense is the same. There's no accountability. If you take 8 threes and you go 1 for 8, there's no bad shots here. There's no coaching. The refs are fake. And the NBA players are, I don't know, they're not real NBA players to me. If they travel and carry all game. So we're just really dealing with what we can about the NBA anymore because I mean, it is what it is, man. You got Caitlin Clark is going to be shooting 3-pointers against Curry this year. Well, I can tell you what, the WNBA was more popular in the early 2000s than it is now. And the girls that was playing in the early 2000s would roll these NBA players today. They just would. And there's no way they would ever put WNBA women in association with NBA players. They just wouldn't. It would be an embarrassment to a man being a man, an NBA player, an NBA player, even being on the same level as a WNBA player. Now, these are the best women in the world. That's fine. And I told you guys before, what did I tell you? I said pretty soon what they're going to do is we've already started this skill challenge with the women and a long time ago, and now it's a 3-point contest. And next thing you know, because the All-Star game is a piece of ish, right? They don't want to entertain the fans. We keep asking why. These guys making money on the highest level, $200 million contract, $300 million contract, $60 million a year, 50, 40, 30. These guys are making all this money to basically do less as players in the NBA these days, besides do one thing, and that's shoot a three. Not get in the weight room, get any cuts on you, not play real physical basketball, not earn your points, not play different offenses, not even a coach yelling at you, never. Oh, none of this. And you still can't entertain the fans at the All-Star game? I've already told you guys, I don't think these guys make any of this money. I just don't think so. And I don't think that the European players are better. I think they're just cheap labor, just like in baseball. And they're not going to tell you that. International players. They're running a cheap labor game on these guys. And I don't think none of these guys make the money that we've been told, right? So I've already talked about that a million times. So in essence, I don't think these guys want to really play the old style of basketball. I don't think they want to give it their all, because I don't think they're making this kind of money that we're told. And they'll be the same players that's wearing makeup and reading from teleprompters and sitting on ESPN and having podcasts and all this stuff when they retire, just like a lot of these ex-NBA players. They need money after making $200 million in their career. They still need they still need to make $100,000 a year for some reason. Sitting on it's just ridiculous. I ain't saying all of them make $100,000, but they might make more on podcasts or TV. But I'm just saying, in comparison to them make tens of millions of dollars in their career, hundreds of millions, and they still need to retire and put on make. They still need a job. They still need a job. It's nuts. What was we looking at? So of course, Victor Wembanyama didn't play, and I don't know why he didn't play. It don't really tell who played without Victor Wembanyama. It really didn't. They're not really telling the story, but we all know what's going on. He's going to say when he hit Anthony Davis's knee or whatever like that, when they went in that collision in the fourth quarter, he went to the tunnel, and I guess he started crying like a little girl. And they start making all these excuses for him on the broadcast. They say the dumbest stuff. If you ever heard these guys, it's just are these robots or something? Because could you imagine these guys back in the day? What's this guy's name? Bill. Oh my God, the Hall of Famer Bill, the one that just passed. Can't remember his name. But this guy, he would have. Oh my God, he would have. You got to get back in there, young man. You're too young for this. Show him what you got. You can't be out at a time like this. He would have been chewing into this guy, and you don't have guys like that no more. That's doing a color analyst. You just got guys who make up excuses. So he goes out after he does a collision with Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis even stays in, and Anthony Davis had the worst of the collision. And he goes out, and he's in a tunnel for like, I don't know, maybe like a minute or two. And I guess you can see him, they're like rubbing on his leg or something like that. I'm not trying to say he wasn't hurt, but comes back in the game 2 minutes later, and he finishes the game. So magically, he cannot play, probably because of that, in this game. Who cares about, anything else? You don't want to win. You don't want to win games this season. and they're playing a big matchup, and you leave your team while they're playing the Mavericks. And if I'm not mistaken, this game was on NBA TV, so it wasn't a national game, but a lot of people have NBA TV. And he just left his team. And like I told you, Victor Wembanyama, his career is not going to last that long because he's trying to be a guard. He's sitting launching all these threes. He don't want to be a center. This style of run and gun offense, it doesn't favor anybody big. If you look at Joel Embiid, if you look at AD, it just doesn't favor these guys. It's too fast. Giannis has been hurt. It really doesn't favor anybody, but smaller guys. And we talked about this. This is why LeBron doesn't really play any defense, because the effort you have to be scoring this many points and running and gunning all the damn game, it's not possible for LeBron to do it. So if he actually played defense, this guy would only score about 10 points a game because he was putting all his effort into the defense. And who cares about defense anyways? You're not in trouble for not playing no defense. I ain't playing no defense. You really don't have to play any really defense until you get to the playoffs, really. So, look, Victor Wembanyama, he's not going to make it. I say in about 3 years, he's going to be hurt. He's going to be like a damn Ralph Sampson, something like that at best. And after he gets hurt, he might keep playing, but he won't be nothing. He won't be nothing special. And because he never worked on his post game or paint game, he's not gonna go back down there to the post. He's not gonna go back down to the post. You saw Joel Embiid; he had to go to Hakeem and try to work on his post game, because these guys in this era, for some reason they don't know their big man. I don't even though Joker can play on the outside, he still has a post game. He's making these guys look like an idiot. Like, look, dude, I can post. I can play in the paint. I can shoot the three. This is what you guys are trying to be. Same thing with Anthony Davis. Most of these guys, take like Joker and AD, these guys actually played in the 210s. So they were, I'm not trying to say they were postmen of the 90s or anything like that, but they were still using the big man in the post. They could still do that in the 210s. In the 2020s, I don't get it, man. I don't know how a center can have no post moves at 7'4", especially when there's absolutely nobody down there to stop you. That's ridiculous. Nobody down there to stop you, and you want to shoot threes? That's weird. I want to look at this real quick. And this is what I was talking about. So LeBron, his three-point percentage is already at 34.9. 34.9. And I told you guys before, he's going to try to rewrite history. And what he's going to try to do, these next 2 years, this year and next year, he's going to keep shooting all these threes. He's shooting 43% this year. And it's going to come down. That's the reality of it. But it's already at 34.9. And I told you guys, he's going to try to get that thing up to 36% before he retires. So they can go back and try to use this on Michael Jordan and say, oh, look, LeBron James, he wasn't a great three-point shooter because, he plays, since Curry, since 2015, this has been the greatest shooting era of all time. It's ridiculous. But your face of the league can't shoot. So he's going to try to get this thing up to 36% so they can go back and use this on Michael Jordan fans. And they're going to say, yeah, he played in the greatest shooting era of all time. Look at his three-point percentage. He's at 36%. Well, 36% would just be like average. It would just be like, an average three-point shooter. It won't be good or great. It would just be basically average. That's it. But that's what he's trying to do now. He's trying to rewrite history. His field goal percentage went up just like a 0.1. And he's playing an incredible 35 minutes per game this season. An incredible, some games he's playing 37 minutes. It's crazy. Now, he done came down to 23 points per game. And this is what I'm talking about right here. He better watch out because even though his 3-point percentage might go up to 36, 36% by the time he retires, because it is at 30, what, 35, 34.9. His career points per game now is at 27.1. Right? So he's on the verge of going down to 26 points per game, which it really means nothing to other NBA fans, right? Because we all know your averages will eventually go down. That's just it. Even though his averages should have been down by now. There's no way he should be at 27 points per game in year 22. There's no way. He should be right now no higher than 25 points per game for his career. No more. No more. 25 points per game. And that's not bad. Especially for a guy with no skill set. I mean, can't shoot the three, except for the last couple of years. Can't shoot the mid range. Can't shoot free throws. Ain't give you no paint work. But yeah, we're just looking at that like in year 22, this guy is still running the court after all these regular season games, playoff games, finals games, FIBA games, Olympic games. Still, it don't even matter if he don't play no defense. Really, I'm just saying, still. And why? With $1 billion. Wow. Well, he'll go down to most fans as the guy who never wanted to stop making money. Not the guy who never wanted to stop winning championships. You would think that this guy would be still playing because he's one championship away from Michael Jordan. He's got a winning finals record. He's gonna break Michael Jordan's or anybody's Wilt or whatever scoring crown as far as scoring title, something. He just something relevant. What is the relevant thing that this guy is doing other than put money in his pocket that you will still keep playing to this day? It makes no sense. Oh, you want another in-season tournament title? Like, okay, like I told you guys, they win another in-season tournament title. Not only is it going to be, can they win 3 in a row? They're going to do a three-peat on an in-season tournament. But ultimately, they will call it the LeBron James LBJ in-season tournament title, and this thing will, for some reason, is going to be bigger than the finals. Right? It's going to be bigger than the finals. Just a joke. It's a joke, and nobody's playing in it. Everybody's always beat up, hurt, not playing. Except for the guys who can't win a real championship, they're always going full throttle in this thing. Just like when the world was sick and dying, the Lakers seemed to go full throttle and wanting to play basketball. Can't make this up, folks. The world is dying, and they're going full throttle and playing basketball. Oh, goodness. Got to find the weaknesses. That's where, LeBron will take advantage of it. So, yeah, this league is looking weird. Luka Doncic, he's shooting like 43% this year. And, it looks like Joker's going to win this MVP. I don't know really who's going to stop him. They wanted Anthony Davis to win it, but, a few weeks ago. But I don't think he will. I don't think he's going to last. I don't think he's going to last those. Something's going to happen to where he's going to go out for a month or something like that. And LeBron's going to put up all these stat padding. And I think they'll win like maybe half the games while he's out because don't connect. He's going to be connecting from 3. And I think this will be after the in-season tournament. Like they did last year. After they won the in-season tournament, they just played like ish because they're the only team putting everything into it. Right. They're the only team. Nobody else cares about this cup. Another gimmick. Nobody cares about the play-in because guess what? Everybody else wants to play during the season. In the last few years, the Lakers have not wanted to play because they know they got the in-season tournament, so they can lollygag. We'll see what happens after they win the in-season cup this year because that's what it looks like is going to happen. I don't think OKC can beat them. They don't have any big man presence. I think Denver could probably beat them, but we'll see what happens. They might lose in the end-season tournament like they did last year, goofing off. A couple of their players won't show up, and they'll end up losing. we'll see what happens. I mean, let's see if the Lakers and the Celtics. I mean, not the Lakers, the Cavaliers and the Celtics. They got to play each other. So if it comes down to that, if the Cavs win, I don't see the Cavs beating the Lakers if they play in the championship. They don't have they don't have a big man that can stop Anthony Davis. Um, I'm trying to think about who else is in the West. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing a team. We already know it can't be the Spurs. Uh, I don't think the Mavs can do it. I don't think the Timberwolves can beat the Lakers. Um, yeah, I just don't know. I just don't know. Especially when you got the officials on your side. You know, these guys really don't have. These other teams really don't have the drive to win it. So we'll see what happens. Like I said, it's a tournament where you play one game that is the tournament. Next game or next 3 games, you don't even play the tournament. You play the regular season. So it doesn't even make any sense. So we'll see what happens.